Alright, y'all got my attention for a few minutes today. I keep seeing this video online about people having an opinion on the White Howard his video pushing his son, and man, I think it's perfectly normal for a dad to push his son. You know what I'm saying? And it's also perfectly normal for a mom to step in and say, "Hold on, Dad, you're pushing your son too hard." Yeah, it's just perfect. It's just balanced. You know what I'm saying? And my first instinct, you know what I'm saying, as a dad, I would say, I'd rather be pushing you right now on this treadmill than somebody else to be pushing you in the streets, or somebody else to be pushing you later on in life. I'd rather slay you right now on this treadmill than you to be slain in the streets later on in life. You know, as a dad, that's how I be thinking. That's how I would be thinking. You know what I'm saying? And then, my first instinct to think is like, okay, it's a child involved. Yeah, you want to bring the topic to the internet and everybody got their opinion on how you should do things. But the child gonna be the one affected. My first instinct to say, man, this is a child involved. You know what I'm saying? Now the child got to deal with people's opinions of how his dad and his mom, and you know what I'm saying? And then I got to remember that it's a whole generation being raised on social media, man. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like a whole nother mental muscle that got to be built. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a whole new generation being raised on social media. You know what I'm saying? Life online. And if you're an 80s baby or before, you kind of understand my dilemma, man. It's still like a transition for me, because I never did take computers serious. It's a lot of people from my generation that kind of adapted to things faster than I did. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a lot of things new for me, because one thing about it, sports is always going to be a good way to channel your masculine energy, man. You know what I'm saying? You got guidelines and you got rules and things in sports to kind of keep things in bounds. You take the ropes away out the boxing ring, and things can go spill over out the ring. You know what I'm saying? You take the rules and the guidelines away, then you don't have the sport anymore. Imagine a young Mike Tyson without a boxing ring. You know what I'm saying? You got a menace to society on your hands. So, I just think sports is a good way to channel your masculine energy while still, you know what I'm saying, staying in line, staying in bounds. You know what I'm saying? It's just a good way to channel your masculine energy, because masculine energy can get the best of you. Because guess what? In the streets, it ain't no rule. If you hit me, I'm going to hit you harder. If you go out of bounds on me and cheat on me, I'm going to go farther. And so, right now the dilemma with me is, people think that the streets is a game. People think that your life is a game. People think that, you know what I'm saying, that the streets is a game. And the dilemma right now is, for me to get used to is right now the streets look at social media as they sports arena, or as they, you know what I'm saying? Now the streets transition into, they think social media is their sports arena. And I just don't think it's fair to come from a generation where the street to be glorifying the life that claimed so many other lives. I don't think it's right to be glorifying a life that claims so many lives. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be drug addiction, murder, or prison system. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no rules in the street. And the Bible said like this. Evil is like sport to a fool. Somebody look up the verse in Proverbs and maybe drop it in the comment, man. Evil is like sport to a fool, man. Even in these movies, you see people, you see people trying to portray the movies, New Jack City, Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, Scarface. You see people portraying these characters, but they missed the part at the end of the movie where these people died, or their whole crew went to jail. It's like, man, they missed the part where the people died and they went to jail and all that. They just blinded by the part where they was making all the money and they had all the chains and things. You know what I'm saying? By all means, man, if you're an entertainer, man, I respect it as such. I ain't knocking what nobody do. I think entertainment is just a reflection of what really happened. But all I'm saying is some people who treat the streets like a sport when it ain't really no game playing with nobody's life. You know what I'm saying? Go get into basketball, go get into football, go get in the boxing ring somewhere where his guidelines in place, and you can be prosperous by doing it. You know what I'm saying? Where you can make money, you can protect your masculine energy, and there's guidelines in place. So it's just a transition I'm still not used to, man, because I don't see it as a game. I don't take my life as a game. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I go and put my energy into working out and doing all this. But, man, it's still functional families out here, man. And a functional family ain't a family that just don't have challenges, man. It's how you overcome those challenges. You know what I'm saying? As much as we see Dwayne Wade and his family in the negative light sometimes, get what? They still manage to keep their family together, man. You know what I'm saying? Much as we see them in the negative light, I seen that magic commercial, man. Stop the madness, man. Stop the madness, man. You know what I'm saying? A functional family, man, not a family that ain't gonna have challenges, bro. It's just how you overcome the challenges. And man, it's either and it just, I don't feel right to have an opinion on how somebody parent their child, especially when, as this Dwight Howard now. As he said, he'd have been to the top. I ain't been to the top, but through my experience, I understand that you can't just have a kid somewhere, drop them off, and and 20 years later you see them in the major leagues. That's just not how it works. Just not how it works. You know what I'm saying? So, as a dad, you got to live with the decision of it's either gonna go two ways. I'm gonna do everything to push my son to get him to the top level, and you can't push somebody away by pushing them too hard. But the regret of not doing everything to push my son, and life ended up having to do it, then that's gonna affect my son. I think that regret is much harder to deal with as a man than you know what I'm saying? To know that I didn't push my son, or I wasn't there to push my son, or that I should have pushed him harder, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't, and life got to do it. So it either go two ways, man. Like it's just a decision that you got to live with. He got to live with as a dad, man. For everybody to have opinions on this and that. When it's a decision that you got to live with. You know what I'm saying? As a dad, he gonna have to live with. Either I'm gonna push my son too hard and push him away to where he grow up and resent it, which I can live with because guess what? I made him stronger and life didn't have to. Rather than living with the regret of I didn't push him and then life got to break him. You know what I'm saying? If you can grow up to be a stronger man and hate me or resent me, we can get over that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, for a mother to say, wow, you pushing your son too hard, it just seemed perfectly normal to me. You know what I'm saying? It seemed perfectly normal. Now, for everybody to be having opinions about it, that's what ain't normal for a young child. You know what I'm saying? So the generation 9 dealing with, not only do I got to deal with peer pressure at school, peer pressure from my peers, from my parents, from my family, I got to deal with 100,000 more people online who I don't even know, who don't know me. So it's a whole nother mental muscle that you got to build. And I know that as many people that build that muscle and it make them better, on the other end of the spectrum, it's going to be just as many people that it destroys. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the generation that we in right now.